Ranger Reub here. Today I am at one of my favorite historic sites in the state of Utah, and that is the Butch Cassidy Boyhood Home. It is located a few miles south of Circleville on scenic US Highway 89 in southern Utah, right on the border of Garfield County and Piute County. It's actually in Garfield County, but Piute claims it. Butch Cassidy was born in Beaver, Utah, April 13th, 1866, and he spent the first 13 years of his life there in Beaver, and moved here when he was about 12 or 13. And he only spent 4 years of his life here, but it was here where he started hanging out with the wrong crowd and started his outlaw ways. And it is from this cabin that he left home when he was 18 and turned his life into one of banditry. The landowner, the Morgan family, Piute County, Garfield County, Utah State Parks, Heritage Highway Alliance, and Piute Trail Committee all contributed to the restoration of the home, and it was a great project. It is actually on private land owned by the Morgan family, and so that's what makes this place just exceptional, that the landowner would cooperate and these other organizations would work together to make this happen. At the site there is a large gravel parking lot, as well as great views of the surrounding farmland and some porta potties if you need to take a pit stop. You might see some ATVs at the site because it is right next to the Piute ATV Trail. And again, the Piute ATV Trail Committee helped out in the restoration. This site has some old farm implements that might have been used by the Parkers, including that manure spreader. There are a few plaques at the site that provide some good interpretation, including an excellent one that says he had more lives than a dozen cats and was a criminal syndicate even in his own lifetime, because there were always rumors that he had died. Weren't sure which robberies he was in charge of. Inside the home there are displays of period implements, including a picture of Butch, the picture taken in Fort Worth, Texas in 1900, and a bed and a dresser. Not original to the cabin, but period pieces. The home sits by the Sevier River and has a ditch right next to it. He was unlike your regular outlaws, such as Billy the Kid or Jesse James. He did not use his gun much. He didn't kill anyone, as far as anybody knows, during his outlaw career in the United States. He was a good shot, yes, but if he was going to shoot a gun, it was going to be in self-defense. And that's one reason he is an outlaw anomaly. Also, he's an anomaly in the fact that he was very much a gentleman. Even women loved him, even sheriffs trying to catch him acknowledged this personality trait in him. Historians aren't even sure which holdups he was even a part of at times. There are several that we know he was surely a part of. One of the most famous is the Castle Gate robbery there near Helper, Castle Valley Coal Company, and robbed the payroll, cut the telegraph lines, so the posse didn't even have a chance. And that is one thing that set him apart from other outlaws. He was very cool and calculated. Nothing came by chance with him. He researched a place for weeks and months before he made the robbery happen, because he wanted to know exactly what time he should do it, and wanted to make sure he knew where to set the fresh relay horses, for instance. So a lot of disagreement on which robberies he did commit. Him and his gang, known as the Wild Bunch, he evaded the lawmen quite well. He did actually spend time in prison once in the Wyoming State Penitentiary, and he got out early on good behavior, promising them he would never steal another horse in the state of Wyoming, which he was true to, but he did rob trains later on in Wyoming, and moved to trains after robbing banks, obviously, because trains were bigger prizes. Stopped the trains in the middle of nowhere, used dynamite to break open the safe, and did pretty well for himself until the Pinkertons were hired to track him down. And when things got too hot, he and Sundance Kid moved to South America, and we see that well in the movie Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. The site was restored and finished with the grand opening ceremony, I guess you could say a dedication ceremony, in September 2017. And they had to remove the cabin from its foundation, log by log, put a new foundation on, and put it back together, log by log. So it is an original. It is not a recreation. Butch Cassidy's hideout, motel, and cafe are the de facto Butch Cassidy Visitor Center. So stop in to the cafe, and the Cummings family will be happy to answer your questions about Butch and his gang, and you can also see some nice memorabilia. There's a picnic area on the site dedicated to the memory of Fred Hayes, who was the director of the Utah Division of Parks and Recreation for a while, who died in March 2018. He told me when I interviewed him for the story I wrote about the Butch Cassidy Boyhood Home that this is not just your run-of-the-mill restored pioneer cabin. He says it's a special place and you can feel the history here. As a fellow Butch Cassidy aficionado, I agree. This is a very special place, and anyone who knows and loves the history of Butch Cassidy should come and visit. They will enjoy feeling the history that is here. Historians aren't even sure which